Hey y'all, guess what time it is? It's the Grolic Saves the World time.
All right, the Grolic saves the world.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world. We're getting big, our worries are mixed. Let's have some cake. While the Grolic saves the world.
Hello, welcome back to the Grolic Saves
Yes.
the World. It's a brand new episode in your phone or computer. How happy are you right now? I'm happy. I'm always happy when I'm here with my boys. I'm Adam Caton-Holland.
My name is Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
Yes,
Together,
baby.
we are a three-headed monster of podcasting that's climbing up the rankings all the time. New fans every week. It's
shooting up the
it's
ranks.
turning into a big, big deal, this podcast.
It's
and I'm proud of
huge.
us. And I'm proud of our listeners, and I'm proud of you for finding it. Welcome to this episode.
I want to just full disclaimer, and I want to say this right off the bat. This is a hot take, and I know I haven't really discussed this with you guys yet.
Yep.
I don't like our Patreon subscribers, and I just want to throw that out.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't like any
Because
of
they're
them.
like the nicest people.
I just don't like them. I think we could have got a better batch.
Wow.
Ron right now just bit a whole chunk out of his coffee mug, and like it was a prop from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But no,
It's ceramic, and he swallowed the whole chunk. Ben, you're clearly out of sorts today. You're in your tanky, and it's not that warm outsid. So
Yeah,
I
you're just
am-
listening. Ben's
let's-
sitting in his
I
signature
Ben is a
black
little
tank.
cranky in his tanky.
let's talk about this.
And when Ben's cranky in the tanky, he often lashes out against the Patreon community.
And just
our
things-
Patreons know
they're
it's
the
kinda
best.
It's quirky nature, so
I-
no harm, no
You
foul. We love
reject
you.
support when you're hurting yourself. That's what they say, right? That sounds right.
They do say that. Was that
You,
Freud?
you hurt
Andrew?
the ones you love. is
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah. That's the layman's way of saying it.
No, I
Calling
mean
me a
as
fucking layman. You calling me a layman on the podcast right now?
Yeah.
wow,
Just
things have
'cause you and I
escalated. This is the
destroyed
first time.
that bag of sour cream Lay's potato chips in that Walmart parking lot the other day.
16 years, y'all listening.
Is this
You don't
'cause of
even
that,
know.
Andrew?
He's never called him a layman. You are here on.
I'm not
I
even
put
engaging
down
that
bag
joke.
of
I'm not even
Lay's
going to give you
in
the rip.
secret.
Nope.
I put down that bag of Lay's in secret with you because we were celebrating.
Oh,
getting
you're not
going to
give
a Walmart.
These are
together.
riffle. These are riffle lays too. That's
All right, Lay's riff over.
No, I knew where Adam was trying to steer, and no, it wasn't.
Andrew, admirable restraint.
I think Adam's dipping a few of these riffle lays in the Funyun dip. Am I right? Okay.
And no one's following you on that riff either. So
Ripple. All right. No, yeah. I mean, as many people who have
Chip
listening and
riffs.
reached out, I get more concerned DMs. I would prefer a you up once in a while, but I get more you okays lately.
You-
yeah, you okay?
You upright?
Yeah.
You
I mean,
out
it's-
of bed?
I'm so tired of all these booty welfare checks. You know what I mean? I can't have some class.
Oh yeah. These,
I guess I'm just used to it because I don't really think about it. But yeah,
I've been
I
a
get
little bit of
messages too.
a-
They're like, "It's been doing okay," and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess. I don't know." Yeah.
I don't know. I don't check on him. I am
And he
not
wasn't
my
here for the
brother's keeper.
sour cream and onion potato chip chow down.
Oh,
So
now you're in. Oh, now you're in.
No, it's no secret that I'm a little bit of a it's white polite way of I'm a mess, probably a little bit of a mess right now.
Kind of a mess, Ben.
Yeah, life is. Hey, y'all know divorce is hard. Do y'all know that or what?
Yeah,
Andrew definitely does. For
yeah, it's
sure.
certainly not too fun.
And especially when you're perhaps one of your most memorable and popular bits, at least according to Spotify and every other algorithm, is about how your marriage doesn't suck. It's a little weird.
Well, it's okay to say your marriage doesn't suck when it's not sucking, and then maybe it sucks, and then you can end it.
Yeah, you're just reporting from the time.
And I will say, my marriage didn't suck, and I don't hate my ex. I think very highly of my ex-wife. She is a wonderful human being.
I'm sorry to hear that, man, and it sucks. We definitely, we can see your suffering, and we're always here to help. But it's also just kind of seems like something you're having to go through. You know what I mean?
It's weird. 19 years, and it's
you're
strange.
Emotionally gator wrestling.
Yeah, I'm gator wrestling, and this thing has my whole head in its mouth right now.
That's right.
But
This is fucked up. But whenever Ben tells us about these about these hard times, I always remember in our Grolix web series we made long ago, his character Ben is getting separated, and
I'm a crying mess.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm just really needy.
I just feel really needy
And I
right now.
can't help but hear that. When Ben's genuinely having a hard time now.
Really needy. Remember, and he would frown. My character would
I just
frown
really
and
needy right
just
now,
really
and we
needy
would
right now.
ignore you.
And we'd be like, gross, no, we can't have any of no.
And now
Yeah.
you're
Here's
having a
life
hard time.
imitating art. So anyway, we got to pay some bills.
Sorta.
Thank you to our sponsors.
No, but unlike that, you both are you all except Ron. Ron's been terrible during this. He just keeps pressing. No, with Ron, it's like work. No, you all three have been amazing, and I appreciate it. But I was going to say I have an idea for a challenge based off something I've been trying to do as self-care.
We're not parent trapping your relationship with Crystal.
No, please, come on. Let's get a house.
It's hacky.
Let's buy a house and fix it up together. No,
We're not HGTVing this either.
I'm
Ben. That's
needy.
not something-
Guys, I'm just feeling needy.
We're
just
not
really needy
doing your
right
HGTV pitch.
I got into a new hobby that I find to be really fun, and I thought that it would be cool for all of us to do because I think it's very meditative, and I think
Before we
it's
do it, can we sound Ben has another hobby sound effect?
Ben doesn't have that many hobbies. This is his second hobby.
And that's 2 minutes. I can't keep up. Ben's a jujitsu guy, and that's it. And I only want one rep.
He's got the motorcycles, but that's also a valid means of transportation. I can't say that that's necessarily a hobby, but he's
Yeah.
got 1.5 hobbies.
yeah.
All right, fair enough.
I have, and the band is kind of a hobby, but it's a job too. So no, I got into this, and I think along the lines of yoga, it's very similar. But I also think it's good at team building and trust stuff for us. I think we should all go indoor climbing. Wow. I really got into going indoor rock climbing.
You've gone full Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. And Tai, who hangs out there, and Shep. Everybody calls him Shep. I don't know why. He's just the coolest. And like all my friends there,
Because he's a
Cassidy.
shepherd up that wall, dude.
Dude, he
makes
gnars that
everybody gets
friggin'
up
wall,
and
bro.
everybody gets down, and that's why Shep's the fucking
No,
boss of that
seriously,
climbing gym.
a good friend of mine got me into climbing, and I've been going to this huge gym in Colorado called Earth Treks, and they're massive. Apparently, they're a chain, right? There are quite a few over the country, but this is so fun. It is like everything I love. It's minutia oriented. You have to really like work on technique. Technique is everything, because there'll be like big people with huge muscles at the bottom of a wall and they can't get up the easiest route. And then you'll just see this tiny little person just scurrying up the side of it, like one of the most difficult climbs. And you realize it's really about technique and about how you transfer your weight to your hips and staying close to the wall. And I just think it would be fun. I don't
I'm
know.
totally down.
I'll do it.
Oh.
I've done it.
Wait,
Me too.
So
I
wait,
was born
so,
in Colorado. I had to do it.
Oh,
It's,
so Andrew, how long ago did you do it? Do you currently climb?
no, I haven't done it in like 5 years, so it'll be real interesting. But I've gone. I only have indoor climbed. Outdoor climbing holds no-
5 years. How long ago did you get divorced?
Wait a minute. Wait a
Oh
minute.
my God.
Is this a divorcing thing?
Wait a minute. 9 years. I got divorced 9 years ago.
Oh, okay.
No, No, I've climbed off and on for a number of years. You know what? No, my hobby when I got divorced was drinking Costco-size jugs of bullet bourbon. That was my hobby. It is also technique-oriented because that jug is heavy and it's easy to spill it, especially when you're drinking directly out of it. You want to transfer the weight through your hips and keep the jug close to your face. That was my.
God, I missed that, Andrew.
That was my divorce hobby.
Well, and
Andrew's divorce hobby for me was hanging out with Andrew finally.
Oh, that's so nice.
That's really I haven't started drinking bullet whiskey because I want you guys to be able to see me through a clear webcam, and if the mine is cracked and spidered for me punching it during a particularly contentious Skype call with my mom, then that's not going to be good for Patreon.
So I'm going to do another Zoom fight.
Yeah. You should see the other guy.
Wait, so Andrew, 5 years ago you started it. Were you climbing a lot?
No, that's the last time I did it. Was about 5 years ago.
Were you climbing a lot?
I would be like sporadic. I would like go, for like a month and a half, go quite often, and then kind of like fade on it and come back. And it's one of those things that you have to do with someone else. Unless, the gym has like a sign up board where it's like, oh, I'm here by myself. So you can sign up on the belay board, and on the incredibly off chance there's another solo person there that's going to help you belay. But by and large, it is a kind of a social activity in that way.
Yeah. What about you, Adam? Did you said you've done it before?
way longer ago. I'm probably like fucking 30 years ago, 25 years ago. When I was a kid, my sisters and I got into it and went to Thrill Seekers down on South Broadway.
Oh yeah, it was in like a
Thrill Seekers closed.
It was like in an old. It looked like an old movie theater,
old
right?
Theater. Yeah, it was an old movie theater. So it wasn't. I'm sure Earth Treks is. I'm sure it's like so much cooler and expansive. But that was the spot back in the day, and we definitely there was like a year or two where we did it a lot. And my parents were just probably like, yeah, great. Drop us off for fucking 5 hours in there and we'd just climb and have fun. So I loved it. And I went outdoor climbing once with a friend. My friend's dad, who was all into it, took us up just like, I think it was in Boulder somewhere. It wasn't anything crazy, but it was fun. And then I don't know, I just was into it for a little while and kind of fell out of it, but I always liked it.
It's amazing to me. There's this whole culture there of like climber culture, and I love that it also seems to be an activity that people can do way late into their age. I mean, you'll see people who are like older people who are still an amazing.
Like
they're all forearm.
You guys missed it. And
yeah, I know. And you took it, but no, younger than you, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah. I think, once you've reached your age, you really shouldn't be doing a lot of strenuous activity. But
if the hospice lets you out, I say go for it.
Well, are you in palliative care now, or is it more, Andrew, is it more just keeping you, it's a social thing, I bet, with you, right? You like to get together and play cards. No, I think much like jujitsu, what has struck me with this is that when you're up there, you really can't think about anything else, because if you do, you're going to fuck up. And there is a kind of a rush that comes with it. But it'll be a good time. And I think it's good for us to get out. We'll have fun. We'll bro it down. We'll do a Colorado style, bruh. You know what I mean? And
we'll mask up. I'll be 2 weeks post second shot at that time.
Fuck
that
yeah,
means
dude.
No condoms. Anything goes.
Yep.
I'm good.
And we belay one another. They don't at this one. So belaying, for people who are listening that don't know, obviously, is you harness in. And
Ben, how long are you going to belabor this point? I get it. We go rock climbing. The boys go rock climbing. Yeah. There's the episode.
I just want you to know the question of will I or won't I drop Adam is there as a teaser for the second half. Will I or won't I? Yes.
And drama. I like that.
The drama.
I like that.
So I say, let's get together this week and let's touch the void.
Whoa. We should probably think of climbing names. Dibs on the Ibex.
Just the Ibex.
I'm the house spider.
Yeah. I'm Dexter Ratecki, and I don't know if you know who Dexter Ratecki was, but he was in that alpine skiing movie that was super popular. What was that movie called?
But you remember Dexter Ratecki.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You took away the main points, Ben. I think everyone knows exactly what you're on.
What was that movie? It was about skiing, and it was all drama. I mean, that's Colorado right there. Ron, can you find us the name of that movie?
No, that's not part of Ron's job. Ron, ignore that last
Don't
request.
tell Ron what his fucking job is. His job is whatever we tell him it is.
This episode hinges on Dexter Ratecki and figuring out what he was in.
Aspen Extreme. That's the movie. Remember Aspen Extreme? Adam, you take the fight to the mountain. And
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
I
If
also-
you have an
We've
issue,
all
you
gotten
take it to the
hammered and
fucking
fought a mountain or two.
Hell yeah, dude. And that's how you grow.
So, in order to make this a little bit of a contest, like we normally do, I have an idea. It's we go and climb, and by the end of it, the winner is whoever climbs the hardest climb.
No, you've been going like nonstop.
I know. So I think those are fair rules. So let's do this. Let's take a minute and listen to some live stand-up comedy. We were talking about the Dvorsky and relationships. So why don't we listen to a stand-up clip from you fucking asshole, Andrew Orvidal, and let's see how it went for you.
Oh, boy.
And when we come back, the Grolics, we will have touched the void.
Usually when I tell people I got divorced, they always have the same reaction, and it's this sound. They're like, "Aww." Like they just saw a kitten fall in a toilet or something. I'm like, "Aww." I want to start messing with people when I give them the news. I'll be like, "Yeah, Natalie and I decided to get a divorce." And they're like, "Aww." I'm like, "Yeah, because it turns out she's a murderer." And then they have to somehow rewind that sound effect, like, "Oop." Well, good. Then I think you made the right choice. People have really cliche reasons for getting divorced, and before I got divorced, I thought that they were hilarious. I'd just be like laughing inside, like, "What are you talking about?" Like outwardly, I'd be like, "Aw," but inside I'd be like, "What?" And now I can't believe the bullshit that comes out of my mouth. I actually said this to somebody the other day about my divorce. I was like, "Well, you know what? It turns out we're just two different people." Is that a reason for getting divorced, being two different people? Like we were two people in one giant person suit? And then she like unzipped it and like jumped out. Like, I just can't live this lie anymore. I'm like, "Come on, baby, get back in the giant person suit. We were so good together." Well, it turns out we're just two different people. Just walking around with this big flappy person suit. "Want to hop in? Anybody want to hop? No? All right, it's cool." Just snagging on shit.
Get out of the trenches of tedious tasks like managing order fulfillment and start growing your business with ShipStation. They'll help increase profitability by automating your workflow with their simple, easy-to-use dashboard. With it, you can pretty much do everything you need to quickly and easily. Update order information, print labels, compare rates, optimize shipments, and even set up automatic delivery notifications. And it doesn't matter where you sell. Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, ShipStation can integrate pretty much anywhere online. Another great thing about ShipStation? They can help reduce costs with industry-leading discounted rates from some of the biggest mail carriers. You might even be able to get up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates. So, make this year your most profitable one yet. Sign up for your free 30-day trial at ShipStation.com and use the code Spotify. That's ShipStation.com with the code Spotify.
And we're fucking back through the magic of podcasting. Fuck that pussy noise, because we are ripped. Huge walking forearms. We're fucking, look at my forearms. I'm going to rip a fucking phone book in half. I can't wait to. I can't wait. Guys, just watch me. Watch me through the webcam. I'm going to rip a fucking phone book apart. Andrew, just like that Power Team shit. Remember that shit, dude?
Oh, yeah, dude. The
Adam,
ripping
do you remember
phone books in half for Jesus.
Do you remember that?
What do you? I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
Oh,
Power
man.
team.
The power team. Google the power team. They were a bunch of Christian power lifters who would go around doing these.
How'd you
these
know they were
strength-
Christian? That
Because
No,
that was the whole message, and they
that was the whole
performed in
shtick.
churches. But yeah, they would rip a phone book in half. They would blow up hot water balls till they
Wow.
exploded.
Remember, the guy would break. He would be shackled, and he
Yeah.
would break the chains of
To
Satan.
the power of Christ. I think
God.
the
And he
guy's
would-
name was John Jacobs, right?
Yeah, and the guy would carry a refrigerator on his back for Christ. It was the most. You don't remember this?
I'm
This
trying
was
to remember
insane.
some of the other shit that they did. It was all
what's the symbolism of a refrigerator on the back for Christ? Like,
Because he carried the cross. and
yeah, he
this
had to
guy's
carry the
carrying-
cross by himself, and this guy's helping you move.
Dude, they were insane, and they were clearly yoked up on so many steroids, and they were like, "We do it with the power of Christ." Not really. You do it with the power of science. Actually,
Oh, man.
wow, no, this is all new to me.
It was a big deal when
Oh,
the power
Andrew,
came.
you
came
saw
through
them
to
live?
your church. Yeah, it was a big deal.
This is so 80s. This is unreal.
yeah, dude,
Yeah.
fucking full malls, full mullets. These dudes, and I remember one of them.
I think he broke handcuffs too, right?
Yeah,
They had him
yeah,
handcuffed
that's what
and
he
he
did.
like snapped him.
He would
snapped at him.
snap them. He would do this breathing and like speak in tongues, and then breathe, and then the buildup was insane. It was so long, and then he would just be like, and then they would break, and everybody would like stand up and their hands in the
Yeah,
air.
it was all
'cause-
like a testimony to Jesus. Anyway,
Yeah.
that'll
I just
be
go-
our next Grolix challenge. Will be breaking a set of handcuffs through the power of Christ. But
I think that's a
back
great
to-
challenge. I think we should just curveball and do that the second half of this challenge.
Yeah,
we already
I-
did the second half of this challenge.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did
we
for
did it
those of you
yesterday,
just-
Adam.
For those of
I don't
you,
even remember. I was in a fugue state.
just to recap, we touched the void. I've been indoor climbing. I love to do this indoor rock climbing thing. I've kind of got into it as another little hobby, and we were talking about it, and I thought it's a really great way to exercise. It's very meditative, so I encouraged you both to come with me and to give it a shot. And so we went actually yesterday, and I gotta say, I had fun having you guys there. I feel
First
like
of all, we should just keep a COVID update. This is the first time we've gotten together in person in a long time.
I know.
It was just nice to see you guys in person. We were all masked up and we were indoors, and
Yeah.
you know, I'm vaxxed. These guys are partially vaxxed. We felt safe, but it was just like nice to hang out in
And
person.
the space is massively
Yeah,
gigantic.
yeah.
Yeah. So we went to Earth Treks in Golden, which is, as Andrew said, a mammoth space. I mean, it's a big room, lots of climbing area, and it's cool. It's cool looking on the inside. So yeah, when you get there, you have to like fill out these waivers and you get your stuff. And of course, we were harnessing up, and there was the occasional joke about how it frames your package very well. I think I actually pulled Adam around the gym by the loop, by the crotch loop.
Yeah, short of like old men in those weird bicycle shorts that
Yeah.
have their dicks perfectly outlined.
This
Yeah.
is right
Like
up
Han
there,
Solo.
right up there with that.
In the carbonite.
And carbonite. That's number one in terms of athletics, in terms of dick presentation. That's one, is those guys who bike in those
But
shorts.
climbing,
I think this
close
is two. I think climbing
second.
is definite. Get your package front and
Yeah.
center and out there.
What I
Definitely
find
a
it does
balls
is
profile.
yeah, it cookie cuts them. It really puts the cookie cutter right into the dough
Yeah.
and pops and presents it forward. You got a
It's
full
definitely
muffin.
P and P's. It's a huge pop and present. For
Yeah.
sure.
You got a fully formed muffin coming out of that bad boy.
It's only
so that's
the
how you strap
$92 climbing pants that really save you from exhibiting yourself. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to your friend Meg, who came to help us out.
Yeah, I brought my friend Meg along because we needed someone else to belay. We didn't, to hold
But
lines.
producer
So-
Ron came. He took the
Yeah.
belay test too. Producer Ron
Ron
can do everything.
He does everything. He's the human Swiss Army knife. He can do just that. You want him to pick
You need a
your
tiny
teeth?
pair of scissors? You need a
Yeah.
tiny pair of scissors? He's got some.
Yeah, he'll get in your teeth. He'll get that pesky little piece of spinach.
And
easily
he
there.
also sat out World War II. So that's why we call him the human Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, draft
Couldn't
dodger.
choose a side. He didn't see which side was right or wrong in that conflict.
Yeah, Ron came along and he took the belay test so that he could.
Why don't you tell our listeners what belaying even is? So let's start at the. Let's assume zero knowledge of anything we're talking about.
So belaying is you're harnessed in, the line is connected to you on the ground, goes all the way up over a spool and comes back down and connects to the person that will be climbing. If you fall, you just fall to. You don't really fall. I mean, you're connected to the line unless somebody leaves some slack in your line. But so we started easy, and this was where I watched Andrew do perhaps the most bizarre thing. So Andrew got up on the wall, climbed halfway up his first wall, probably even 3/4.
Like
and
a bat
then-
out of hell. Like shot up the wall.
He got up the wall pretty well. Andrew can scoot. And he
Little
gets
spider boy. Little spider boy.
and he got up to the top. And meanwhile,
I didn't know whether to stop
didn't.
him or catch him in a glass.
And we were on the
side humanely.
we were climbing up. And meanwhile, Adam and I are down on the ground, just gawking at his junk and the view of his.
He was peeing so hard.
Yeah, and he gets partway up, he stops, and he goes, "I'm coming down." And so then I'm like, okay, I start lowering him, but he doesn't rappel down. He does what is much harder, which is what's called down climbing, which means he climbs down the wall very slowly, which is so hard to do.
Hitting every little peg with his foot and hands.
And the best part is he's not down climbing because if you've ever been to a climbing center, there's pegs everywhere. You're climbing color coded.
Mm-hmm.
So you can down climb if you're nervous or scared by touching any peg if you want. You can just
on
come
the way
down.
up, you follow the purple route, but if you need to get it down, you're like, whatever, I'll just step on
I'll
any
just step on
green,
anything.
purple, beige rock and get down.
Andrew, I think, is doing it to show us how strong he is. And because he's coming down the purple route as well. He's still coming down the purple pegs. He's honoring the system.
Right.
It
And
is-
at that point, Ben and I are like, I can't figure this guy out. A lot of people like to flex, get to the top, be like, look how fast I got. Andrew's a 3/4 guy, and then
starts coming
meticulously backwards down the same route.
It is so weird that the people in the section near us that are climbing as well stopped to acknowledge it. They go, "Oh yeah, he's down climbing it."
I don't even need to see the top.
Yeah, and he gets down to the bottom and he's exasperated and he goes, "I didn't even check to see if rats had chewed through my harness." That's what you said to us.
Yeah, I didn't say rats. I said mice.
He said mice.
Yeah, mice. I'm
But
sorry.
I realized I was halfway up the wall, and I used to climb, like I had mentioned, but it had been, like 5 years ago, and that shit had just been like sitting around as I moved from place to place. It's just been like dumped where, stuff might be dumped, and I've definitely had a mouse or two in my house or two, and
Dude, that's the most Dr. Seuss line I've ever heard you say in my life.
Andrew, that book is no longer kosher. It's been removed from most shelves. A mouse or two in my house or two is not very offensive depictions of mice.
If anybody is listening out here and can Photoshop an Andrew or make an Andrew Orbital Dr. Seuss book called A Mouse or Two in My
that's
House
all
or
I need
Two.
is to be
Oh
associated
my
with that.
God.
Oh, Andrew, that book is
So-
no longer cool.
So when I went climb, I was running late to meet y'all to climb. So I had a hard time finding my shit. I finally found it buried in a closet, of course. So I just grabbed it. I came, I met you guys. It was fun to see you. We're all catching up. I just threw the shit on. I didn't look at it. I didn't inspect it. I didn't do anything. I just put it on and I started climbing because we were in by the wall and was like, who wants to go first? And I was like, oh yeah, I've done this before. I'll go. So I was halfway up the wall. And when you need a rest, you say take, right? That means take up the slack so I can take a rest. So, Yeah, it's about 3/4 up the wall, and I was like, "Oh, I kind of need a rest to figure out this next section of the wall." And so I say take, and I'm kind of like leaning in, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you didn't inspect your harness at all. Like you didn't do anything. You just put it on, and who knows what damage could be on this thing." And so I just had this like massive panic attack right there on the wall, and I was like, "Okay, time to come down, and don't lean into this harness anymore." And I came down, and of course the harness was fine. The harness was totally okay.
But why come down on?
Well, because he's worried about the damage to the harness.
No,
so he doesn't want to
no.
shoot down.
I understand
you mean
down
to climb down the
climbing,
same route? I don't know. I'm a stickler
Yeah.
for the rules, I guess.
That was
No, I
the
just
way-
climbed down. I didn't even think of it that way. I was just like, okay, I came up this purple route. I'll climb down this purple route. I guess you're right. I
Yeah.
could have used anything. I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
and then Adam went up, and Adam, I figured you would do fairly well at this, mostly because you do work out. You are, you're in pretty good shape. The only thing I thought was you have a pretty fucked up foot. So
I
He's
do.
got
I
a
have,
big
like,
chunk of
metal
metal
in
in
my
his
toe.
foot. And to describe a
my
climbing
second to
shoe,
big-
imagine taking a banana out of a banana peel and then putting your foot into that banana peel. That's sort of how
Yeah.
a climbing shoe works.
but it's also that banana peel is made entirely of leather or like really strong nylon. So your toes should be crooked and
Yeah.
like stuck right at the end. They should be very snug and bent, kind of.
Yeah, I kept having to take my shoe off after each climb because my left foot was barking at me. It did not like being bent that way at all.
The way I described to them your style of climbing was that you fall up the wall. There was, and Ron is nodding. There was nothing beautiful about your climbing style, but it got you to the top. Like, and that was the thing. You just kind of clunk, 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 clunk all the way up.
I thought he did
And
great.
I thought he did really well and I'm just being honest, for somebody who had zero technique with it. Like, there was no turning his hips in. His arms were bent at 90 degrees because when you do this, you don't want to keep your arms bent. You want your arms extended and to be driving with your legs, but you used a lot of your upper body.
Well, you were teaching me that across several climbs, and I was definitely like, my forearms were getting exhausted because I was using way too much of my arms. And then you kind of learn over the course of several climbs, like, all right, keep your arms straight, like you're saying, use your legs. And then it got easier. Then I enjoyed it more. But that first one was definitely like falling up the wall. I just wanted to get up there quick because I was losing the ability. I was getting so sore in my arms that I was like, just get up there as quick as you can and fucking belay down.
The other thing that at the end that Ron and Meg and I were talking about with you, Adam, is that there are commands. There's give. If you want, give me line means the line is too tight. I want some slack. Take means take in the line. I'm going to sit back, or I'm taking a rest, or there's too much slack in the line. If you're coming down, you're just supposed to say, coming down, and then the person says, lowering you. But Adam would get to the top and just shout from the top of the wall, take! And then it was just, and you'd yell
I was ready
down.
to come down, dude.
Yeah,
I was ready to come down.
Ready to come down. But you did very well at it. You both, like, for somebody who's, you were saying you hadn't climbed in,
25 years, I'd
yeah,
say.
you relied on your accrued athleticism, like not crude, accrued. Your crude athleticism.
I thought he
accrued.
said
Okay.
crude.
All right.
Accrued. Your years of working out or playing soccer,
I like
you
crude.
relied on
Crude.
your. I like his crude
Just
athleticism.
unrefined.
Take it.
Yeah, just like the.
Yeah. But you
Most
rel-
rookies start crude and achieve refined status. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm currently a crude rock climber.
you really I was impressed.
Thank you.
I was like, damn, Adam just attacked this. You went right at it. I didn't know how you were with heights. We've never really talked about heights at all.
I don't mind heights at all. I looked down once at the top of the wall and I was like, oh yeah, we're fucking up here.
Yeah.
But I trust, unlike Andrew, I rented the equipment and I just blindly trusted Earth Trek not to hand it over to mice. So there was no fear. There was no fear in my heart. I trusted Earth Trek to keep their equipment
Well,
pristine.
that's the best part about going to Earth Treks is you never hear them when they hand you, oh, oh, wait a second. We didn't check these for mice nibbles. Andrew, that was how Andrew worded it when he came down the wall was, I didn't check for mice nibbles.
You get it at the front desk. They open a door. There's like a ferret cage. They pull it out of. Wait. Where are you keeping these things?
Yeah. They love it. It's like a toy for
that's
ferrets.
Stallone the ferret. He's owned by.
You know what was funny to me is
Stallone.
like Stallone the ferret.
That's the ultimate ferret name.
It really is.
Oh, don't let Stallone climb on you. I'll bite your earlobes off. Don't.
But what were
I was like, Andrew climbed up the wall first, and you can just kind of like lounge around the bottom of, on the mats and lie there and watch your buddy climb up the wall. So we were all just kind of like lounging around, and Ben's belaying him. And I don't know if this is just how we are. We're just children, or I haven't been in public for so long, but we're just yelling shit up at Andrew. Just Ben and I are like, man, I hate to see him go, but I love to watch him leave. Just like the view's fine for me. And meanwhile, there's just people climbing around. It's like, hey, assholes, like just stop catcalling each other. Like I just realized we've lost the ability to be without sexually harassing one another.
I think we got to work
people
on
kicked
that. Out of Earth Tracks.
I think it's like I blame COVID because I'm just like, oh, this is not how you act in society.
We're just a few boys casting on the wall. That's all that we were doing. You can't. We were definitely the loudest group in there. But it was one thing that I wanted to say about this challenge to people listening. This was the least contentious challenge, and it was the challenge that I found us all to be the most supportive of each other while we were doing it.
That's very true. While I am, talking about how we were kind of joking around, you're not like tearing your buddy down when he's doing a hard thing, climbing up the wall. We were all rooting for each other. We were all very encouraging the whole time.
Yeah. Milo, my son, came along.
Positive energy.
Yeah. There was a lot of positive pushes towards the top.
Very Brody Stevens.
And I liked that. I found everybody there's a level where you have to be very serious as well because people can get hurt. When somebody's belaying somebody, you don't want to be distracting them or grab-assing.
Totally.
And I thought everybody took it very seriously when harnessing in and checking knots and things like that.
But as you know, it's hard for us to be that earnest and for that long. And Ron wasn't at the ones and twos. He couldn't blast the earnestness horn.
Yeah.
So we just had to lean into it. And I'd find myself being like, there you go, Ben. And part of me is like, but also fuck you.
yeah, exactly.
It was just really hard to get over that
Ben
one.
was climbing the real shit. Ben was doing the really difficult stuff. For me, one of my favorite parts of the experience was sitting there with Adam, and we're watching Ben climb, and Adam just says, more to himself than anybody else, he just says, wow, Ben's in really good shape. I just wanted you to know that, Ben.
View.
I just wanted you to know that he said that. As a real...
The like climbing thing has been really fun. That last one I did was the frustrating one because that was part crack climbing.
Let's describe it to the listener. So there was various very tiny handholds that Ben could use, but then there's also a crack in the wall that you can use you could put your arm or your leg in it,
like a crevice in the cliff that
so
you
they
could kind
put
of
these
like use to get
cracks
some
in,
leverage.
and people when they climb them forget you're allowed to use the cracks in the wall and things like that. So like the cracks in the actual structure of the building, you can actually
they're intentional,
like
I think too.
Yeah, and so you can crack climb, and that gets really hard. And I was trying to jam my hands and my feet, but by that point, that was our last climb. My hands and my forearms were gassed.
Well, that's when I was admiring your bod, but I also was telling Andrew, this is the perfect sport for Ben. Like, this is so fucking perfect for him because it's like, it's set up so that you can keep challenging yourself. And I think you kind of like to be tested nonstop. So it's like we were going up and up in levels, and you got to this one, and you got about halfway up, and it was like, I can't do it, whether because you were exhausted or whatever reason you couldn't do it.
Whatever the thing was.
That is what Andrew said. And several other climbers who weren't even with our group were saying
it was kind of like we were like singing it in kind of a quiet voice. But
that's not. But that wasn't. I didn't hear that up on the wall.
To be earnest, that's there for you the next time. And I know your ass, you'll be back at that exact one.
Yeah, no,
next
I'm
time you're
definitely
there.
going to go back and finish
And
that.
I think that's like a really good. I don't know. I think your brain's wired that way. It's like, okay, challenge me. Well, I'll fucking beat this. And so, like, I think that's why this sport's perfect for you.
It will always be the kid that that people picked on constantly for being chubby, and my friends, I wasn't as good at things. I wasn't very athletic. They called me crazy legs when I played football in middle school because I had bad knees. And so, like, there's this part of me that is always like, fuck you. Like,
If
even
I
when
could just climb high enough, I won't hear them anymore.
So now that we've done this and you've made that sad statement, I want to ask, like, would you both, Adam, would you do this again? Would you climb again? And, but two-part question, do you think this makes the world a better place?
I would love to do it again with a child around the corner. I just don't see a new child around the corner. I don't see myself having the time to go do this very often anymore, which is a bummer because I'd like to do this.
Yeah, and when your neighbor's having a baby, you got to walk by a lot and say hi and wave.
Steve's having that baby, and I want to be there to support him around
and
the corner.
they live just around the corner.
I get it. I was following the riff. But so I'd like to do it if I have the time. I think it's really fun, and it's a hell of a workout. Like, I walked out of there and like every vein in my arms was just bulging out of my skin. I was like, that was the hardest arm workout I've had in a long time. I do think it's prohibitively expensive, and we're lucky to have the money to do this. So I don't know. In these lean financial times, I don't know if I'd be racking up the visits to the old.
I think it probably gets cheaper the more you do it. But it is definitely. True. I mean, it makes a yoga studio blush in terms of the amount you have to pay
and all the equipment you got to buy and shit or rent.
Yeah,
every time.
I mean, here's the thing: once you do buy the shoes and the harness, if you saved up, and the chalk bag, really you don't need much else to do it after that. And the visits you can get discounted and things like that, but it is definitely a privilege.
And the harnesses hold up, even in a mouse house. They're not. They're
one or two. Yeah, they're mouse house 1 or 2.
They're not getting.
But to your second
nibbled.
question, I think it definitely makes the world a better place. And I was like, had some bullshit going on in my head I was distracted by, and as soon as we started climbing, it's that Zen state we're always
leave
chasing.
It on the
You're
wall,
not thinking
bro.
About,
leave it on the wall.
Leave it on the wall. You're not thinking about anything else when you're doing something like that. It's all consuming, and you really got to be in the moment and like be present right there to even be able to pull this off. So truthfully, I'd love that feeling. That's, I think, that as humans, what we seek. And it makes me wish that I had gotten into this super early because I would love to do it outdoors. I think that's like the ultimate.
Exactly.
To be doing this and be in nature and completely alone. And like, I feel like that'd be amazing. Or with a friend climbing.
Yeah.
I think you can't help but come away a better person.
Yeah,
and
people I know
more
that outdoor climb
thoughtful.
always say that when you're like 150 feet up a wall and there's just the breeze, the wind, and you can hear birds and stuff, it's extremely like peaceful and meditative, and that's a bit much for me. These walls are 45 feet high inside, so but
I'm not saying I'd be able to do that, but I so see the appeal of it.
Yeah. Andrew, what about you?
Yeah, like I said, I used to do it, and not like a ton, but I was going fairly regularly. I still had punches left. I didn't even realize when I got there.
Oh yeah, you got there. That was the other thing. You're like, I still have free climbs.
I thought that they surely would have expired, but we
thought you were dead.
It was sobering. What terrible shape I'm. I was reminded when I was climbing up the wall. I was reminded of a very specific memory in my life. When I was in my early 20s, I lived in New York City, and I slept on an air mattress, and it sucked really bad. It was like
just like Times Square. Or?
Yeah, in Times Square on an air mattress.
Oh, you weren't sleeping on a good air mattress?
I was like. Yeah. There are good. Anyone who slept on an air mattress knows.
Yeah. No,
there
I'm
are
just
good
fucking
ones.
with you.
I had one of the ones with the slow leak. So every morning around 4 a.m., I'd wake with like all of my joints somehow touching the floor. Anyway, it sucked. And one night we were out on the town, leaving bars, and we came across a futon frame on the sidewalk, just a full futon frame. And I was like, oh my God, like, I could use this as my bed. So we brought it back to Brooklyn on the train, lugging this goddamn thing up and down stairs. I lived on a 5-floor walk-up apartment. We had to wrangle that goddamn, because it was constructed. It wasn't like in a box. Wrangle this fucking futon frame up there. And it sucked the whole time. And I was climbing that wall yesterday, and I was specifically just reminded of that. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm the futon that I'm dragging. Like, I'm in such bad shape. I feel like I'm dragging like an extra person or obstacle
What's
up here.
on me? Oh, it's me. I'm
Oh
on
God.
me.
And I was dismayed.
Well, I
I'm in
will
really
say
bad
that for
climbing shape.
you not having done it in a while, Andrew, you did very well. And producer Ron, shout out to producer Ron.
Just an ibex.
Ibex Ron for having not done it in a while. He had his own gear. He's shaking his head right now. He did very well for not. He
just got his second shot. He was out.
Yeah, he showed up Moderna on the wall. That's what we kept yelling.
Well, and it was also belaying a lot, which was very helpful.
And I told
Yeah.
Adam, I was like, let's never learn how to belay. So every time we
I know.
go with Ben, we can just climb and then we can just like chill.
How
Now,
would you ever want to learn how to belay?
But I would
when we
definitely do it again. I texted you about doing it again.
Nobody
Yeah.
responded to that.
Yeah, nobody
so
replied.
Take that for what
so-
it's worth.
no, I'll totally
No,
go
I
again.
get it. I get the
Anytime.
message.
And I didn't see it because I have yours on ignore. But I will say the other thing that we watched too is that was interesting was we were 4 dudes, 5 including Milo and Meg destroyed us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean Meg.
Why don't you
is
tell our listeners
like,
the nickname that you gave Meg?
I call her the Tick.
of all the things that
'Cause she-
climb.
Yep.
Yeah, but she sticks, and she's got Lyme disease. That was the other part of it we talked
Being
about.
sensitive.
Yeah, but no, she. I mean, she is really good at climbing. She's like full inverted climbs and stuff.
Yeah,
and,
unreal.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
wait a minute, though. Wait a minute. Who won? Oh, this is bullshit. We're all fucking kumbaya over here. Who won this goddamn
I mean,
challenge?
honestly, you guys know
Meg? Was it Meg?
Meg won it. But if we weren't
Okay.
counting Meg of the 3 of us, I mean, well,
You
it
win?
feels kind of bad. Yeah, it's like the jujitsu one. I've been practicing this, so I don't like the win on this. So I'd say out of the
Oh, sure you don't.
out of the 2 of you, I've got to say I'm going to go out of the 2 of you. Andrew won with
it
his
feels
insane
good.
down climb.
It was certainly more memorable. It was certainly
was.
a more memorable climb. I'll give
And
you
then
that.
when he gets to the bottom, his panic attack, mouse nibbles,
Fair enough.
fear. But I don't like a winner on this.
We were all winners.
I like
we
Adam
could say we were all
Caden
winners.
falling up the
Yeah.
wall. I like that.
I mean,
We
that sounds
all
like
won.
the title of your memoir. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it. Falling up the wall.
wall.
Adam Caden Holland. Huge shout out and thanks to Earth Treks Golden. It's amazing. And if you get a chance and you can visit one of the Earth Treks locations, they're all over the country. You should check it out. It was really cool. And
if you want to sponsor us, Earth Treks, we'll wear your shit
yeah,
all
I mean,
over
Ben
the
already
city.
read the promo
Yeah.
copies. So
yeah, I wrote the copy. We're at the point where we're doing a lot of ad space pro bono.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
So-
But I'll just be walking around Denver wearing your stuff. I don't even need to climb. I'll just be head to toe climber gear.
I mean, it's
walking around the city.
comfy. Those.
and I thank you guys for coming along with me on another one of my silly little
As Adam
hobbies
pointed
and-
out, yeah, while we were gassed out on the bench, this podcast is kind of just called Doing Ben. It's just
Well, that's a different podcast. And
Oh,
it's actually
Oh,
more of
dear.
a video series. It's on my OnlyFans, but if you guys
Well,
want
support
to
that.
do Ben,
Yeah, follow us on Patreon or support Ben's OnlyFans if you'd like to do
tips,
Ben.
only $10 token tips. All right. What?
let's take a break. After the break, stick around. We've got more show. We've got a special announcement. We've got a giveaway. We have next episode's challenge. But during this break, let's hear some more stand up. This is one of our favorite Denver comics. This guy is so
Crusher.
funny and one of the biggest hustlers I've ever seen in comedy. He's always out there hustling, doing shows. He's hilarious. Please enjoy this clip from Anthony Crawford.
All right, I had a traumatic experience back home in North Carolina. The most popular amusement park is Carowinds. That's what it's called. And they have a ride called the Drop Zone. And Drop Zone, basically, they lift you 16 stories in the air. You hear a click, then they drop your ass. It's the whole point of the ride, all right? And me and my buddies, we got on this ride, we start climbing, 16 stories in the air. Excited, can't wait. And then on the ride up, the ride malfunctioned. And we ended up being stuck 16 stories in the air for 3 hours. Very true story, unfortunately. Very true story. Now, the messed up part about this whole story, ladies and gentlemen, is when they finally fixed the ride and let us down, they didn't do it gently. They made us ride the ride. All right? Think about that, people. We were 16 stories in the air, okay? It's not like we can hear them go, hey, man, we fixed it. We're gonna go ahead and bring you down now. We can't hear any of that shit, all right? We can't hear none of that, you know what I mean? We were just up there for 3 hours like, oh, man, this sun is killing me right now, man. And we were like 3 hours. This is some bullshit, man. I gotta piss. Man, we better get our money back. I know that much. Click. Wait a minute. And then 8 black people in synchronized harmony went, oh, shit, as we dropped 16 stories. And I ain't ashamed to tell y'all, I peed on myself. Yeah, I did. I peed on myself. Sure did. You know what I mean? I drank a lot of drinks before I got on that ride. It's a quick ride. I thought I had time, all right? I'm pretty sure I beat my pee down to the ground, to be real with you. I want to do a science experiment to prove it. They ain't even give us our money back. They just gave us the picture for free. I think that was some bullshit.
And we are back. What a show. What a show. And due to the magic of podcasting, Adam has had his baby.
No. It was not the magic of podcasting that
It
brought
was
the baby.
do you know how babies are made? It's podcasting magic.
Oh, that's right.
It's Ron's baby.
Yeah.
It's Ron's baby.
It's Ron's baby. Oh, he comes out with tiny little headphones.
Let's find out if Adam listens to our show. Let's make jokes that so we can find out if Adam ever listens to these episodes.
No, in all seriousness, come on, Andrew, come on.
Yeah, be serious.
For those of you listening or that have been paying attention, Adam and his lovely wife, Katie, welcomed Ellis David Caton Holland.
Can you also give the Social Security number?
No, I can't. But 8 pounds, 3.5 ounces, born at 3:11 in the morning.
Oh, that's a chill time to be. That's a chill
original.
time to be born.
That's
Omaha style in the hospital. Wow.
Gotta come original. You got to come. So the new baby is here. Shout out to Adam and Katie, mom, baby, and Adam made it through with flying colors. Everybody's healthy and happy, but he is not here.
Which leaves the heavy lifting to us. We have some plugs.
Yeah.
Here's one that came across the desk.
This is paid content, isn't it?
This coming Thursday, May 20th, Adam Caton Holland has a show at Comedy Works.
Wow. Great stuff. He's not even here, and he's sending in his fucking stupid plugs.
Oh, he texted Ron this from the hospital while Katie was in labor.
Did he? Oh, that's amazing. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh, honey, I just got to get something out real quick. Just housekeeping. That's it. And in another news, something to really get behind and everybody could really get into. June 2nd, I will be doing a show here in Denver at the High Dive. You can get tickets now on the High Dive's website. Come on down. The best little dive in Colorado. Easily my favorite venue in the city. June 2nd, going to be telling jokes with some friends there. So come on down and see us. And speaking of shows, I've been getting out. You've been getting out. Things are starting to open up. And I've been seeing Patreon subscribers coming out to the shows. I was in Cincinnati this weekend at the Liberty Funny Bone telling jokes. I met Matt L. Big shout out, Matt L. If you haven't checked out our Patreon page, We highly recommend that you do. And if you do support us, we fucking love you. We posted some photos of our rock climbing session.
We're gonna check out the caboose cam.
Yeah, you get to see us from the bottom. You get to see those plums just a split. So we posted some photos and a short video of our rock climbing session. We're going to leave those up for free. So anybody that listens to this, you can go over and check it out. We're also going to be doing a giveaway. We know that climbing in this episode is cost prohibitive. It is a privileged sport. So we're going to give away 2 beginner's lessons to a pair of friends to be able to take a climbing lesson at Earth Trek. So if there's one close to you, just go to our Patreon page and tell us why we should pick you. Look around, see where there's one close to you and a guest, maybe a significant other or a good friend. You can go have a climbing lesson, and you get some climbing time after that.
And actually, you don't have to even be a Patreon supporter for this giveaway. You just have to go to our Patreon and tell us on the giveaway post why we should give it to you. The giveaway is open to everybody.
Now I know why they do a prize horn on morning radio. It feels like we should have a prize horn.
Ron, hit the prize horn.
Are we going out of our minds? Patreon.com/Grolic Saves. There's a link in the show notes to this episode. One of the other things that we do with this is we give birthday shout outs to our top tier supporters. And we have a few this month. It looks like number 1, Jess Cowett. I love me some Jess Cowett.
Jess Cowett rules. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Mike Sharon on the 17th. He's going to be 13 years old. Happy teen. Coming into the teen years, Mike Sharon.
I hope you get those fireworks you asked for, Mike.
Yep. And on the 10th, this is a pseudonym. We know that. We know who this person is.
Whatever name you have backed our Patreon under is the name that we have to shout out.
Molly Codler. But we know who you are, Molly. A wink, a wink. And happy birthday to you. We love you. I'll probably send you a message privately because I know you personally. You're great. On the 21st, Elijah Phillip. This is one we felt conflicted about talking about because Elijah, we're not a big fan of. Made a lot of inflammatory comments. Tried to burn down the Grolix pod the last time
was
we
Elijah
were in it.
Phillip. That was Elijah Phillip. This is Elijah Phillip.
Oh, Elijah Phillip. We like Elijah Phillip.
Yeah.
Phillip is the one that tried to burn us into the pod while we were hanging out.
Elijah Phillip. Yeah,
Phillip,
see, I screwed it up too. It's a crazy last name, Phillip.
Elijah Phillip, the 21st, and of course one of the 4 Tylers that supports us.
The 4 Tylers of the apocalypse. This one, Tyler Merkel.
Tyler Merkel, Ty Merks. Happy birthday, Ty Merks. Turning the big 63
We've always been the podcast
today.
for Tylers.
4 years, 63, so he's 4 years younger than Andrew. And Ty's such a big day. So anyway, that's all for the Patreon stuff.
Wow. And if you are a new listener, welcome aboard. Wow, what an episode to hop on. We have babies all the time. Thank you for listening. Whether you're new or you're an old hand on the deck of the SS GST Dubs, hit that subscribe button if you can.
Now I know why Adam's here. This is the longest outro we've ever done. The SSGST Dubs.
Yeah, but we're not going to get cool shit like SSGST Dubs when the manager's here, dude.
Yeah.
This is the cool shift. Subscribing is great. Leaving a great review is great. All those things are great. But honestly, the number one way to help our show is just to tell your friends, your loved ones, whoever about it, because that's how it actually grows. So if you love it and you have friends who love funny, goofy stuff, and they want to come aboard the GST Dubs, tell them about it.
Welcome aboard.
Our episodes come out every other week on Tuesdays, and on the off week, we usually have bonus content on the aforementioned Patreon. And you can find us on all social media at Grawlix Comedy. And give us a follow there because we've got some fun announcements coming down the old pipe very soon.
Coming out the old pipe. I know it.
The old pipe. And big thanks this episode to unapologetic carabiner hoarder Ron Doyle. Thank you. Ron was belaying for us when he got his second vac shot. That's dedication.
I thought you were going to say his DUI. He was belaying. He got his second DUI and then belayed.
Oh, I mean, he was blind drunk at the bottom of that rope, but at least he kept both hands on it. Ben, what's your excuse?
Why don't you shut up?
Jesus.
Why don't you shut up? Our theme music, as always, it's going to be brought to you. It's always going to be brought to you by the Ascendant. I like that. Ascendant Charlie Continental.
He's angelic.
And you know what? We mentioned it at the tippy top, which was now a half hour ago of these outro credits. Adam has a new baby, and I think we have to do an emergency comedy section, an emergency C-section here.
Wow, I don't like any part of how you got there. I didn't like any of it.
But I think we do. I think our next episode's challenge, we need to come in.
Sounds
we need
like the name of a comedy club in Amarillo. The C-section.
C-section.
And then comedy is like in parentheses.
Yeah, the C is for comedy. They tell you that, too. No, I think we have to do something emergency for Adam. We didn't see this baby coming. We didn't even know that Katie was pregnant until month 8. We didn't even know.
This is one of those, they blindside you.
Yeah, so we should do something for them.
Yeah, we'll do a challenge. This is going to be a challenge for Adam. Kind of a surprise. Let's do a surprise.
And I think we should have a very special guest for that one. Yeah, I think
we'll bring in a guest and have a surprise challenge.
And in the meantime, I love to say this. Check us out, Plolly.
Oh, wow. Adam needs to come back.
I'm just kidding. Play us out, Charlie.